more time, very loudly, with your heart. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Everybody, a little louder. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. One more time again, please. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. One more time, very loudly. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Dear devotee.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. I welcome all of you to His Holiness Candramauli Swami daily class. And today we are going to have continuation on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 13, verse 42. And we are having His Grace Bishop Prabhu, who is going to enlighten us on this particular verse on Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna, Bishop Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you.
Haribol, Vrindavan
Haribol.
Prabhu ki jai. Dhanvatari Prabhu ki jai. Scarlet Mataji ki jai. Shilpesh Prabhu ki jai. Sukha ki jai. Vishwa Paravi Devidasi ki jai. Oh, glories to the temple devotees. What can we do without you devotees? It's such amazing just to have your association, even online. It's so nectarian. Thank you very much for having me here.
Haribol. So Prabhu, do you
Haribol.
want me to share the screen or should I give
Yeah,
you
yeah,
the access?
please. No, please. Can you share it?
Yes, I'm sharing.
You know, it's like relationships with
Over to you, Prabhu.
Vaishnavas are the most important things ever. It's like actually, this is what Maharaj is doing. Actually, he just lingers around and he just makes relationships. It's like amazing. So let's continue on. Srimad Bhagavatam 1342. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yatha gavo nasi protas tantyam badascha damabihi vaktantyam namabir badam Vahanti Bali Ishituhum. Translation. Okay. Thank you. As a cow bound through the nose by a long rope is conditioned, so also human beings are bound by different Vedic injunctions and are conditioned to obey the orders of the Supreme. Purport. Every living being, whether a man or an animal or a bird, thinks that he is free by himself, but actually no one is free from the severe laws of the Lord. The laws of the Lord are severe because they cannot be disobeyed in any circumstances. The man-made laws may be evaded by cunning outlaws, but in the codes of the supreme lawmaker, there is not the slightest possibility of neglecting the laws. A slight change from the course of God-made law can bring about a massive danger to be faced by the lawbreaker. Such law of the Supreme are generally known as the codes of religion under different conditions, but the principle of religion everywhere is one and the same, namely, to obey the order of the Supreme Lord, the codes of religion. This is the condition of material existence. All living beings in the material world have taken up the risk of conditioned life by their own selection and are thus entrapped by the laws of material nature. The only way to get out of the entanglement is to agree to obey the Supreme. But instead of becoming free from the clutches of Maya or illusion, foolish human beings become bound up by different nomenclature, being designated as Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras, Hindus, Mohammedans, Indians, European, American, Chinese, and many other. And thus they carry out the order of the Supreme Lord under the influence of respective scriptural or legislative injunctions. The statutory laws of the state are imperfect imitation replicas of religious codes. The secular state, or the godless state, allows the citizens to break the laws of God, but restricts them from disobeying the laws of the state. The result is that the people in general suffer more by breaking the laws of God than by obeying the imperfect laws made by man. Every man is imperfect by constitution under conditions of material existence, and there is not the least possibility that even the most materially advanced man can enact perfect legislation. On the other hand, there is no such imperfection in the laws of God. If leaders are educated in the laws of God, there is no necessity of a makeshift legislative council of aimless men. There is necessity of change in the makeshift laws of men, but there is no change in the God-made laws, because they are made perfectly by the all-perfect personality of Godhead. The codes of religion, scriptural injunctions, are made by liberated representatives of God in conditions. The codes of religion, scriptural injunctions are made by liberated representatives of God in consideration of different conditions of life, of living. And by carrying out the order of the Lord, the conditioned living beings gradually become free from the clutches of material existence. The factual position of the living being is, however, that he is the eternal servitor of the Supreme Lord. In his liberated state, he renders service to the Lord in transcendental love and thus enjoys a life full of freedom. Even sometimes on the equal level with the Lord, or sometimes more than the Lord. But the conditioned material world, every living being wants to be the Lord of other living beings, and thus, by the illusion of Maya, this mentality of lording it over becomes a cause of further extension of conditioned life. So in the material world, the living being is still more conditioned until he surrenders unto the Lord by reviving his original state of eternal servantorship. This is the last instruction of the Bhagavad Gita and all other recognized scriptures of the world. Wow. Can we go again to the verse and translation? Okay. Thank you. Yata gavo nasi protas tantyam badascha damabihi vaktantyam nama birbada vahanti bali ishituhu. Translation: as a cow bound through the nose by the long rope is conditioned, so also human beings are bound by different Vedic injunctions and are conditioned to obey the orders of the Supreme. Om Jnanatimirandasya Ganajana Shalakaya Chakshum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Namobishtam Swapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kadanmayam Ranti Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sakaganaragudatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijanam Sakita Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakamvitam Shcham Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabhanu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tamta Kanchana Gaurangi Radha Vindavaneshwari Dishabhanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhubhyeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishta Bhutale Shimate Candramauli Swamiti Namine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishta Bhutale Shimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashite Shatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasati Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Dear devotees, please hear me well, because this verse, especially this verse, is going to explain to us that we are in big trouble. Dear devotees, we are going to solve all our problems by this verse. Are you ready? Yes, we are totally ready, but we are so silent. Are we ready to solve all our problems? Okay, we have some raised hands. Okay, we have someone who wants to solve our problems. So, interestingly enough, the verse is speaking about comparison between two laws. One is God-made law, the other one is human-made law from godless society. And interestingly enough, even though we are devotees, even though if we are Jnanis, karmis, and until we are fully here in the material world, not in the liberated state, that we are beyond the laws, that we are beyond the free modes of material nature, when we are under the influence of guna, God's laws will affect us. Even though we are doing service, even though we are doing puja, even though we are chanting, even though we are doing service, spiritual, or even, we are doing maybe even what Guru Maharaj told us to do, we are going to be influenced by these laws of God. And, well, graciously, by the mercy and the desire of Srila Prabhupada to fulfill the mission of his spiritual master, we understand these laws of God in fullness, isn't it? We have the only scriptures that actually explain the full extent of God consciousness, the full understanding of God's laws. Okay, the essence though, and the devotees are getting more scriptures, understanding also like how to be in the mode of goodness and such. But the most important law, and which is it? To be Krishna conscious, to raise ourselves above the three modes, to go, okay, to first come to the mode of goodness, because if you're not mode of goodness, it's like, spiritual master tells you to do something, and then after 3 days, you're kind of drowning in Maya. You kind of, it's like you barely managed to kind of just text Maharaj about that. Even though it's not a mode of goodness, when spiritual master sends us requests, we should answer him as quick as possible, get the answer as quick as possible, not like, being entangled, because we are in lower modes. We're in lower modes. So not trying, so we have to be aware that we are not like, privileged race of Aryans, that we are not under these laws. No, we are. And we have to be careful. We have to be careful to follow the Shastra, follow the scripture, follow the morning program, have a strong sadhana. It's so important. It's actually, I cannot explain how much it's important. It's like it's the essence. And if we think that we are devotees and we can go without it, we can skip things, we can skip our rounds, or we can skip our service, or we cannot. If we were not going to be fixed up like Vrsabha Prabhu is in sadhana, in service to the Guru, then we are going to be getting partial results for a partial development, or our partial spiritual life, and then we're going to start losing the enthusiasm, we're going to lose the determination, we're going to lose the drive, and we're going to start thinking that what we are doing, we're okay. But actually, the biggest spiritual realization I got in my spiritual life was not about Radha and Krishna. It was about, I'm not going to make it. This is my biggest spiritual realization. I'm not going to make it. I have to do something about it. I'm not going to make it. I'm going to stay here probably like, eternally if I don't do something about it. And yeah, it's a kind of a, you really start to play seriously after that. After that, it's like, it's an interesting realization, isn't it? I'm not going to make it. And I have to stick. And I have like, I have no idea why even the spiritual masters are like, even thinking of wasting his time on me. And I'm just thinking, okay, but not in a, in a negative way that, okay, oh, I'm so bad, I should, I will never back out. But okay, whew, I am a special case, and I have to have a special treatment. I have to specially take, my medication seriously. I have to take my treatments really seriously. I have to take my sadhana really seriously. So speaking about this law, one interesting thing about this law is like, because see, and Maharaj is speaking so much about it, just repeating Guru Maharaj's words, difference between the lawmakers, atheistic lawmakers, making their own laws, imbibe by their laws. We now have to take care about the environment by CEO, reduce your CEO imprint or whatever. It's like, what is that? What is that? Like, and let's make a big fuss about it and punish you for that and abide for that laws. And of course, it's like how it's hard to avoid it. Even though if we are in the communities, even if we are actually in the farm communities, we would have good lawyers to protect us. You have to have a good lawyers in the farm communities to avoid all of this nonsense. Actually, they have a law that you cannot drill a well and drink from it or something, because like you kind of messing up the environment if you are using the water, underground water or something, of course. And you cannot sleep. You cannot stay in the farm. You cannot. Yeah, they have like I think a law in UK. You cannot stay in a farm, but you kind of have to have an additional separate place to stay where you have to pay for electric bill, water bill, and everything. But of course, there is some way to kind of all these all these artificial laws of man-made secular society, which are godless, which they don't know what they're doing. They don't know which laws they should put on, which things they should allow, which things they should forbid. They have no idea. They're just kind of patching it and like making new patches of laws, which in the end just makes things worse and worse and worse. It's called ugra karma. Ugra karma. So we don't follow the God law, which we cannot avoid, which we will get. It's like I think it's said this in one sentence. It said here, to be disastrous results. Disastrous results. And so we cannot avoid the God laws, but interestingly enough, we can avoid the, okay, legally and illegally, gray zones, and legally as well. If you have good lawyers, they can find ways that you can kind of have excuses for some laws. And this is what you can see. We have tractors. Today's like just imagine how degraded the society is. First, everything was natural. Everything was made by everything was full of nutrition, full of energy, full of prana. Everything what you're buying, it was actually just it was picked up yesterday or that morning from the field. You bought it in the market and you were cooking it today. If you didn't have your own garden, then you just took it just the moment you were cooking it. Amazing, isn't it? Everything organic, everything was full of nutrition, everything was full of energy, everything was vibrating. And then you have tractors, mass production. Then you have to have max have to transportation. Then you have like packaging. Then you have saving it. Then you have deep freezing. The totally deep freeze, taking lunches or prasadam from our deep freeze. Really healthy, isn't it? TV dinners, I think they call it. Then you have, okay, petrol, cars, transportation, everything has to then we have I think at UK, I think somebody told me that UK is producing almost nothing, probably potatoes only. And everything else they come from everywhere. Avocados, carrot, I think maybe carrots, maybe some spinach, I think maybe still UK production. Everything else is artificial, isn't it? Okay, at least we can serve Krishna. Really nicely we can serve the deities by that, but it's ugra karma, and we are part of this ugra karma, and we are if we are not fully preaching or fully engaged in devotional service, it means 24 hours, and that we are fixed in our devotional service, we are getting the results of it. We are also disobeying the laws of God, and we're getting the results of it. Then we have artificial houses, which we have to clean with our artificial chemicals, which are actually dangerous sometimes. So we have to have artificial clubs to clean up our houses, trying not to kind of, poison ourselves with that. Perfect. I mean, amazing, isn't it? Then we have all the water we have to have water filters because you gotta have clean water. It's not actually drinkable so much. Man, it's like this life, this kind of a life is terrible. There is actually, there is a story. Mahura Maharaj said that stories are good. There is a story about one devotee. He had two sons. One son went to America and he was earning millions, and the other son was in the Brahmacharya ashram in Mayapur or in India somewhere. ISKCON. So he went first to visit his son in America, and he saw he has millions. He has millions. He has big houses. He has, I don't know, cars, whatever. And he actually eats frozen dinners, frozen food, because he only has time to cook once. On a Sunday, he cooks and then he freezes and then he just takes it out. But he has millions. And the other son, he is a brahmachari ashram. He has 3 hot, freshly made meals every day. And the father concluded, actually, my brahmachari son is much more richer. Because what's the point of having all these riches if you are actually living, day to day, like surviving, actually. Surviving on nothing, isn't it? This person, this rich son was like, he came to a brahmachari ashram once and he's like, oh my God, you are living much better than me with all this wealth. You're living much better with me than me. So think about it, devotees. We are poisoning ourselves with probably every aspect of modern life. Every aspect of modern life, we are poisoning ourselves. Yeah, we should meditate on a better life that Guru Maharaj wants for us. Interestingly enough, one more point from this verse. We're speaking about God made laws, right? And God made laws are perfect. It's made by Krishna. It came from Krishna. And if we see Mahabharata, if we see the Kurukshetra war, there are so many instances that Krishna was asking the Pandavas to disobey his own laws, to actually go against all these laws that he expects everyone to follow. So Krishna is the lawmaker, and whatever he says, it is the law. That moment, that is the law. That is. So having the Krishna in our side as a devotees, it's actually just amazing. It's not that he's fighting for us, but just like having him in our circles and just abiding by his words, we are going above the laws, even God-made laws in the nature. And it was actually sinful not to obey Krishna's orders to disobey his laws. Yudhishthir needed to go to see the hellish planets because he was hesitant to say a lie. And Krishna said, you have to say a lie. So, yeah, isn't it interesting to think in this regards? And I think there's probably many things to say. I think there were really powerful sentences here. I cannot recall so much. But the essence is that Ugra Karma, the lawmakers, they're just that they're killing, they are planning to kill hundreds of thousands or probably millions of cows because of global warming, because of CO2 emissions, because of cows are farting too much. Cows are farting too much, so that's why we need to kill them. And that's why we were going to reduce all these climate changes, which are totally artificial anyway, and all this weather, which are totally artificial. You just see how this Ugra Karma just kind of spending more, just it's just going worse and worse. It's just getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And the more we are still a part of that system, and we are not kind of fully preaching or something, it is catastrophic. It is catastrophic. Anyway, any comments so far? Any questions so far, please? Devotees, let's put all our interesting things on the table.
Thanks, Prabhu. Thank you very much. I think they are very important points which you raised really. So nice class, Vrsabha Prabhu. I request devotee, I see Silpesh Prabhu already has raised hand, but I will just also request other devotees If you have any questions, comments, realization, please you can raise your hand or you can type in chat window. I can read on your behalf. And also, if I may request everyone to please switch on your video if possible, that will be really good. Silpesh Prabhu, over to you, please.
Hare Krishna, Vrsabha Prabhu. Hare Krishna, dear devotees.
Hi, Shilpesh
Please
Prabhu.
Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Guru Maharaj. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Wow, really, really nice talk, Prabhu. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, since the early 90s, I was very interested in environmental issues. And I remember I used to be like a member of Greenpeace and Friends of the Earth. So that was like a good 30 years now. That was like 30 years ago. And like nothing's actually changed in the world. You know, we will have a lot more environmental awareness, but the problem hasn't been solved. Nothing's actually changed. You know, we're just going from one problem to another problem. And as Guru Maharaj says that you need spiritual solutions for material problems. And I see the solution in ISKCON. You know, we have our farm programs. You know, we elevate our consciousness. It's all there. The example you gave of father who had one son who was a brahmachari and one who went to America. There's a really good film going around online at the moment called Natural Law that you can watch. You just register your email on their website to let you watch it for free. And it's a young Indian who grew up in America. And like at the age of 25, he was a millionaire, he was an entrepreneur, but he was chronically sick. You know, he had the party lifestyle, he had it all, but he was just chronically sick. And the doctors couldn't figure out what was wrong with him. And he ended up going to India and took the journey of Ayurveda. And that pretty much cured him. And, you know, he changed his lifestyle. So it's good these things are going out in the mainstream, these kind of films and stuff, because they're giving much more awareness. And like, I'm really hoping somebody makes a film about the Bhagavad Gita, because nobody's done that yet. So I'm really, you know, that's my wish, that somebody out there who knows how to do these things can make a really inspiring film about the Gita and what the Gita can give the world. Hare Krishna.
You said it really nice, Prabhu. Especially like doing the yagya. You know, this is like what Bhagavad Gita, if you're reading Bhagavad Gita, they say doing the yagya, do the yagya. If you want to change the climate, if you want to, like, you know, if you want to do like the biggest benefit, take all these Adi Atmika, Adi Daivika, Adi Bautika. I mean, we have mosquitoes, which are like, you know, you see that they're official, like they're big, aggressive, and they're like, you know, your hand falls off when it bites you. It's like, it's Ugra karma. Like, and then you have the sun, scorching sun. So you have like, you know, or you're bitten by mosquitoes during the night, or you're like on the scorching sun during the day. So there is no relief. Like, you just get a karma after karma after karma. It's like karma is trying to punish us, but we are giving them more reasons to punish us, that they're kind of like giving more disasters. And what does the Bhagavad Gita say? Do yagya. And what is the biggest yagya? Harinam yagya. Just you know, singing the holy name. And actually, if you know, the farm communities we are doing for ourselves to give it like a lifestyle, we are doing preaching to cultivate people to understand, to do yagya, to make the yagyas, to make everyone, hey, Prabhu, like people, we have to do something to glorify the Lord. We have to do the yagya, and yagya is to glorify His holy name. So just if we do that, you know, that's already like all the problems of the world will disappear, isn't it?
Wonderful.
So thank you for this. Please share us with the group this film. I think it would be nice preaching video. Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing this, especially that you were in Greenpeace. That was cool. Like, you know, Planet the Earth, isn't it? Like, they don't have the solution though. Scarlett, Bataji? Okay, that's her view.
Hare Krishna, and thank you very much for today's class. We talk about the man-made gods and God's law, which is in from Manu law and everything. But there is man-made law. It's a law that we live by, have to live by, the country's law, the authorities' law, and so on. Is that law apply to me if we say like that, I'm in Krishna consciousness or I'm Muslim, but the Muslim law says one thing, but the country law says other thing. Which law applies to me? Which law do I really have to live by or abide by?
Oh, thank you very much for this question, because this kind of reminds me of we have countries, Muslim countries, which their laws already have religious principles inside the law, isn't it? It's like it maybe that country is forbidden to spread Krishna consciousness because they're, I don't know, that their religions, okay, maybe their religion kind of scriptures are mentioning about, only, let's say Muslim, if you have Muslim country, that they say only Quran is the right scripture or something, but maybe for sure in the Quran it's mentioning about God being a person, about principles of actually religion, which then you will see that, okay, Bhagavad Gita is not saying anything different, so okay, they will probably have some way to see that Krishna consciousness is not against their laws. But the Charlotte, you have mentioned this conflict between these two laws and which to follow, isn't it? So my vision is that one day we will have our own country where we're going to have a Vaishnava laws which are actually not different than than the scriptures, so that that it will not be any difference. And this kind of a secular laws, we cannot go against them, which we, at least what we are trying to do is to be as minimum as possible, like to kind of go along with them as minimum as possible, and there are many kind of the lawmakers are the first one not actually obeying the law, and they have because they have made the laws in a way that they don't have to obey them. They have like one book says something, but the other law says something else. You can make an exception. And the lawyers, that's why the lawyers are really powerful now. If you have a good lawyer, you can actually find a solution to anything.
My son is lawyer, so my son is lawyer. But why I'm asking this question, because my son is lawyer, and in my understanding, I have learned that the country's law, the law of the place you live in. I am Muslim. I was born in a Muslim family, but I live in Christian country. The country, not Christian country, but country that it's not Muslim majority. Majority are atheists, almost atheists. Majority
secular. It's a secular, yeah.
Yes, but secular. There is a law that I have to live abide by. I can't do whatever. I can't just go and take for instance, to say I don't have money, I can take money from someone else, to steal money from someone else and to use it in the church. We say like that, in the church. The law says it doesn't matter why you took the money. You shouldn't take the money from the people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
And so on. So what I mean now is it so that in Krishna consciousness, is it also that you have to abide by the law of the country, and also much more Christian, Lord Krishna's law, the law of Krishna consciousness, of course, but also the country law?
Yes, both. We are trying to abide both of them. Let's say, yeah, we are trying to buy as much as possible to both of them, as much as possible, as much as it is kind of it is possible. If you have some law which is said that it's forbidden to spread Krishna consciousness, or like deadlines, you're not going to abide that law, because
no, of course not.
We are preachers, so we can say like okay, this if we are preachers, that means that we will go to try to spread it. In Russia, it was forbidden to have any religions, but it was spreading, isn't it? It's like it was spreading by different means.
Exactly.
But but of course, this is not the reason not to kind of, I don't know, have a clear finances. I mean, the transparent finances, and if there is a law that is saying, okay, now you have to pay this and this much tax. Okay, it's not that we're gonna not obey that law, but we're gonna try to find the way. Maybe we can save this money in some like what is called some way that other law allows us to.
Mhm.
We're gonna always see how to manage the laws. We're gonna always see how to manage the laws so that everything be as much as transparent. We're not here to cheat anyone. We are to give. We are here to give and to organize ourselves and to give even more, isn't it? But you have some specific situation that you think about?
Yes, it's not. I mean, of course, when it comes to preaching something that you believe, of course, you are not going to live by the law of the country. Of course not. You should do the things that to do preaching still, even if it's against the law. That I understand. But what I mean more is things like, for instance, in Sweden, if you have a house. When you sell the house, you have to have everything ensured that everything is okay when you sell it. You can't just sell it and just, you know what I mean? To do a fraud.
Yeah.
This is against the law. But if I am, let us say, I'm devotee Krishna conscious within the Krishna consciousness, do I need to law or do I? No, I don't do it because I'm a devotee from Krishna consciousness. I don't need to buy this law. You know what I mean?
This is sinful, I think. I think it's even this is even sinful to think like that. Like, I'm a devotee and I'm over the law. I'm above the law. It's not about being above the law or not. Like, I'm not going to listen to a policeman because I'm a devotee or something. It's not about that. I think it's pride, and it's actually I think it's more about situations if like the law says you have to eat meat, or like if
no.
the law says something, it makes your devotional life. It's like, let's say about this law about the farm. So the UK, the law that you cannot stay in the farm, it's forbidden. It's like, I don't know why. Or you cannot take water from the well. I don't know. You cannot take the water you cannot take water from the like from underground sources, because I don't know, they have their own reasons, whatever they are. So what you can do, it said like, I'm not taking water from downstairs. This is actually my this is artistic, something artistic. And then you kind of maybe take the water in a different way. Take the water in a different way, which will not be, it will be like a borderline, something that is really specific, and something which is kind of a not conventional situation, where you are not against the law, but you're not abiding to the law as well.
No, okay.
So it's kind of it's because all these laws are full of flaws, and they are made to and they are sinful, and they, not all of them, like most of the laws are here to make society to function, isn't it? The law is here to try to make the society function. And of course we abide with these laws because we want to be protected by the government, by the military, by when the regular things are happening. And then all of these things that are stopping us from furthering Krishna consciousness and our devotional life, this we are trying to escape or avoid as much as possible. But it really depends. But to not be like, oh look, I'm going to kind of not pay the tax because I'm devotee. No, that's
no,
that's irresponsible. It's irresponsible.
Thank you.
Isn't it? I don't know. Now, Vrindavan, not Prabhu, please correct me, please, if I said something wrong.
No, Prabhu, you are absolutely right. I I think it's important, like you rightly mentioned on this point, that as a devotee, we carry more responsibility rather than less responsibility. So we have to avoid by, like as Prabhupada has mentioned, as mentioned in Krishna Bhagavad Gita, that we have Swadharma and we have Sanatan Dharma. So for normal people, they may say that who are not devotee, they can say, I'm just focusing only on Swadharma, which is just following the material kind of duties. But for devotee, it's very important to also follow Sanatan Dharma, which is a greater responsibility and abiding by all the rules and regulations and principles. So when it comes to even any country specific law or anything, I think that anyway has to be followed. I think there is nothing like we need to really unnecessarily over engineering that, because that has to be like whatever is like minimal. Like if we have to follow the traffic rules, we have to follow. Yeah, we can't say I am just a special devotee or I am very elevated devotee, I will just cross the signal. Yeah, so that's not like called, I would say, intelligence. It's like foolishness in my view. So for a devotee, I think following law in general is very important. But I think what I understood from this, what Prabhupada has mentioned in this particular purport, that it's very, very critical that just by following very imperfect law, like following perfectly these imperfect laws of material world is not sufficient enough. We have to focus more on the perfect laws which are created by God or God representative. Yeah. We can follow these laws maybe imperfectly, but that's also fine. At least our desire, our intentions and our bhav, our mood is in the right place. Yeah. So that's very important in my view, Prabhu. Sorry.
Haribo. Haribo. Siddhartha ki jai. Danatari Prabhu, you wanted to say something? I mean, that you don't disobey the law by driving and
I disobey all the laws.
no, yeah, okay. Vrsabha said I can, start doing whatever I want.
I think all of us heard the story about Jesus Christ. Jesus, when he came with his followers, disciples in Jerusalem, it was the day of Pascha or something like that, some celebration. When they came in the center of the Jerusalem, there was a celebration. People were celebrating that day. And he and his followers, they didn't like the way the people celebrate Pascha. They were eating meat, they were drinking alcohol, wine, and so many nonsense things. So what they did, they break all the tables. They break everything apart. So, and then left, they went away. And what happens? Police and, authority, they were chasing after them because they did nonsense. They did something what they should not do. They break everything, all the tables, everything what was there. So after a few days, we know that Jesus Christ, he gave up himself. And he came in the front of a court. So he told them that that what he did because he's the son of a God. And because people don't follow the religion the proper way. Just imagine if, Vrsabha, you're from here, from Croatia. We have every few days in the year, there is a celebrations in the front of the churches. We call that, how do we call that? They do the same thing what they were doing in Jerusalem when Jesus came. They they bake meat, they cook meat, they eat meat, they drink all kinds of different alcohols. The same thing what was going on 2,000 years ago. So just imagine if 15 of Hare Krishna devotees came to that celebration and we do the same thing what Jesus and his followers do. What will happen with us? We will end up in a jail and we will have to pay the bill with the money, probably money bill. You know. But at those days when Jesus did that with his disciples, there was no paying in the money. He had to be beaten. And he was beaten. And we know that, we know how. He was beaten and he was crucified because they disobeyed the law of the state.
Okay.
This is, you know, we cannot come anywhere and do nonsense and destroy something and say, I did that because of God, because I believe in
No,
God.
we
in this way or in
destroy.
that
We
way.
wouldn't destroy the tables. We would come inside and do Harinam. It's what we would do.
I just give an example.
Yeah, I mean, actually, but this is great, Dhanvata. That's a great comment because many times devotees do that. You know, there is some celebration, Karmic celebration, and they actually go inside with Harinam, and they're like, "Oh, why are you doing this crazy Hare Krishnas?" But we are purifying the everything, that we are making it all suspicious. So this is our ways. Is like, you know, we are not killing anyone, we are not beating anyone, we are not trying to, you know, oh, you're eating meat, let me beat you up now here. It's for your purification. We are actually doing the holy name. So it's very interesting. You just kind of give me the realization why we are so pushing much this crazy holy name. And then and in the end, if policeman stops, what you're doing? Oh, we are just singing and sharing joy. You know, you know, we're not hurting anyone. Yeah. So really cool. Yeah, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us prasadam and holy name. This is like our secret secret weapons against the lawbreakers.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
that's what Srila Prabhupada said. You know, I didn't came with a sword to destroy something or kill somebody. I came with knowledge
Yeah.
to kill the wrong mentality.
So okay,
That
we
was just,
actually we are organizing.
that
We're
was
gonna
just
be
an
organizing
example.
this week Harinams. We're gonna organize this weekend Harinam. Thank you for reminding us. Thank you, Damatar. Haribol. Jai.
Hare Krishna. We have to disobey the orders of states, unfortunately. We have to
by
follow. No. We have to follow. We have to follow the laws of the state.
You know
Even
how we
if-
disobey. You know how we disobey when they say
Yeah.
you cannot come to Harinam anymore. Okay, no problem, and tomorrow we go again.
That's all right.
And they come,
Even-
don't come, don't do Sankirtan into the airport, and you do it anyway tomorrow.
We know from ISKCON history that many devotees end up in the jail because of Harinam.
If
They
you
didn't
didn't
destroy
end up in jail,
anything,
it was not
they were
it was
just
not a good
singing.
preaching.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, Maharaj told me once, if the demons are not complaining, you're not doing any preaching. So, you know, the complaining has to be there, because I'm complaining, someone has, like, you know, some, it's not that you're trying to make someone, you know, complain, or you try someone to be disturbed, but just by, you know, being in the Harinams, singing the holy name, even in a really nice way, you know, the demons are going to get agitated. Because, you know, no, I'm God. Why are you singing God's names? You know. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Jai. Vrindavanath Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. I think we are just on time now. So unless we have any last questions from anybody or any comments or any relation, not for breaking any law.
I'm gonna open this link Prabhu sent.
Yes, Silpesh Prabhu has shared this good link. So hopefully everybody has copied paste. Yeah. So if there is any further question, Prabhu, with your permission, maybe we can close this today class.
Yeah, be a good citizens and do lots of Harinam and Sankirtan. That's it.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
thank you
Prabhu.
very
Thank
much,
you.
devotees.
Thank
See you
you.
soon. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for everybody. Thank you all the devotee for joining this class. Thank you really very much. Srila
Hare-
Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj
Jai.
ki jai.
Ki jai.
Jai.
Thank
Bishop
you.
Prabhu
Hare
ki, Bishop
Krishna.
Prabhu ki jai.
Hare
Jai.
Zindagi ki jai.
Thank you.